scholarship, or was it did it come completely out of the blue?
Honestly, coming in, that was my goal. Of course, was to show that I could be I could add value. I'm just continue to add value to the team and do so at whatever capacity they give me the ability to do. So it was definitely something that me and my parents talked about. I talked about it with maybe a coach here or there, but there was not much open communication, I would say, about it. It was something that I think that Coach Day just saw the opportunity and he kind of executed it. So
you got the scholarship last year. Now this year's been a breakout year for you. Has this just been like a dream for you? Has this kind of been the plan all along, I guess?
I would say it's definitely a dream. I'm an Ohio kid, Cincinnati, and I grew up a Buckeyes fan. I've had a lot of family come through Ohio State, but I would say that growing up, I always kind of had the idea of being the breakout guy or star guy, and that wasn't necessarily the way that the Lord had ordained it for it to go in the way that I saw. And so I feel like there was some maturation that had to go on, and that within my faith. And once I finally had that maturation, I think that the Lord kind of gave it back to me. So
as a guy from Ohio, how does a loss to Michigan impact you?
They're a great team, and the rivalry, the history, everything's rich behind it. So we work that game so much. We work it every day. And so having come up short, it hurts. It's something where I feel the pain not only of the loss. I feel the pain of the state having to go through a year where we come up short, and I think that kind of fuels us day in and day out. I think we got a lot of Ohio kids on the team, and so just having the understanding of that rivalry, even like pre-playing in it, I think that's kind of something that has allowed us to take it so seriously.
So from a player's perspective, how have you seen everyone's approach change this offseason, given how that game went?
I would say you didn't really have a choice. Everybody changed from Coach Day down to the equipment guys. There was a shift, and the players included in that. I think there was a bit of a lax that kind of happened, and I think that lax came back to bite us, and it was kind of like we had to rebite on everything. Whether that was our off-season workouts or whether that was the skiing. The players. We had to look ourselves in the mirror. And we had to really understand, that it's a matchup game. They're an excellent team. They have, excellent infrastructure up there. And so when we're playing against them, we're playing against, someone who is very at the playing fields are level. So we have to bring our A game, and that really starts from the first workout in the winter, and it carries all the way through the season. So from all 11 games and into the 12th. And so I think that the way it kind of changed was rebiting on that, and just understanding that if we don't work this game every day, if we're not getting better every day, then we're susceptible to what happened last year. So.
Because there was no game in 2020 and because they lost last year, there's guys on this team, so they have their gold pants from 2019, or maybe didn't quite earn the pants on the field the way they'll have a chance to now. Do you get a sense that that's a motivator this week, that differential between wanting to have some ownership of the game this year?
I would say that everybody does a great job of, working the game. I mean, this year I think we've done a good job, and we're just entering into game week. But I think that everybody's taking their job, their role seriously. I think that even the scout guys, they're understanding. They're trying to figure out exactly who they are trying to emulate, and they're going to do that to the best of their ability. I think that we do a good job of everybody taking ownership and adding value in whatever role that they have. So I wouldn't necessarily say that it's something where people felt like they didn't earn anything in 2019, but I would definitely say that there's there's an urgency. All the marbles on the table, all the cards, everything that we want is right up under us. So there's definitely an urgency that everybody's operating with. Like I said, from Coach Day all the way down to the equipment range. So,
Xavier, you said you were a scout guy, and you were a scout guy then, and eventually got the scholarship, and now you're an impact player. What's the difference between being a scout guy and preparing for this game, and then actually being an impact player and getting on the field?
I think that the correct way to approach it, there shouldn't be a difference. But I think that there's easy to get caught up in the fact that I'm not going to have an impact on this game or whatnot if it's not taught the right way, or if your mentality is not correct. I think that the scout players are just as impactful throughout the week as the people who are going to be in that play. They're giving us the look. They have to execute the look correctly. They have to show the same body language and demeanor that the other players or on the other team are going to show, or we're not going to get the look that we need. So I think that there is a bit of a I would say there's a bit of a difference when it comes to Saturday of just executing on the field versus throughout the week, which is executing and giving us a look. But I would say that everybody's just as important. We need everybody for this game. In matchup games, there's not much room for error. So the ability that the scout player has to give the look, that's as much ability as we have to exceed.